This is the 2026 BMW M4 Competition. Does it check off all of the right boxes? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. I didn't borrow this model from a dealership, so I can't tell you that there's a link in the description of the video. I did borrow it from a personal friend, which I really appreciate. We're going to give you the details and tell you all about it, including a test drive. It's all going to happen. When you look at this M4, you know that it's something special and you know that it's something different because of its overall shape and lines. As we start here on the front end, obviously you're going to have your full LED lighting. That goes without saying. But the thing that I like here is that everything here is active. You've got all of the large vents, obviously the active air curtains right here. I know it's a little dirty, just the way I was given, but it's going to have some stuff on it because it's being driven. Sensors for all of your safety features, the dual kidney grills, and obviously going to have that M4 logo right here. You will have several camera views as well. There is the front view camera right there in the center. And then we work our way up. We're going to have that BMW logo. And right here, I like how everything just works its way up. You've got what look like some very nice lines here. It almost looks like there should be something here, some kind of a heat extractor or something like that. But it still looks nice, and I like how it slowly blends its way out as it works its way up towards the top of the hood. It just looks right. Now you're going to have the ability to use all-wheel drive or two-wheel drive if you want to. On the front end, we're going to have the gloss black 19-inch wheels. Tell me what you think about the color contrast with this gloss black and the gold brake caliper. One thing that's very interesting about that, it almost seems like that brake caliper should be blue because of the blue in the BMW logo right here in this area, but that's not the case. But just tell me what you think. I do like it. It's different. It's nice. Everything here is for pure performance. We're going to have our little piece right here. Now that's not actually active. It's just here for looks, but it is here. Another M4 badge. Now, as far as our side view mirrors, this is not a sticker. Everywhere you see carbon fiber, it's real. And these are going to be power adjustable heated side view mirrors. Everything's here. We're going to have blind spot monitoring built in. Carbon fiber roof. That's going to definitely help you out. The horsepower to weight ratio here is phenomenal. Shark fin antenna up here. It does look kind of interesting to have gloss black right there on top of the carbon fiber. Almost makes you wonder if that should be carbon fiber or at least have the sticker on it. And as we look at the windows, I really like that shape and how everything starts out large and works its way to this smaller area right here. It just gives that in-motion look. And we're going to have some gloss black down here on the lower portion of the body. That's going to make it have that lower, more aggressive profile. And we have the 19-inch wheels up front. There is a difference. We're going to have the 20-inch wheels here on the back. But once again, those gold brake calipers will be here. Working our way up. Nice sleek lines from the window. You're going to have that rear window defroster or defogger. And a little more carbon fiber here with the spoiler. Going to work out great there. Looks nice. X-Drive, you know that you have all-wheel drive. You're going to have all of your typical logos right here. LED tail lights here to finish things off. And something else that I like, you will have your rear diffuser here, but I love that we have the quad tip exhaust. When you have this kind of performance, you can't hide the exhaust or have faux exhaust outlets. Speaking of exhaust, let's pop the hood and see exactly what's being exhausted. One thing I love about these BMWs is you can pull on the hood release in the interior twice, and you don't have to go hunting around for a hood latch or anything underneath here. When we open that up, what we're going to find is the 3-liter twin-turbo 6-cylinder engine. Now don't let that scare you off because it makes 523 horsepower, 479 pounds-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60, 2.8 seconds. Top speed is about 175 miles per hour. And how about your potential MPGs? I know nobody really cares when they buy one of these vehicles about that, but somebody's going to ask if I don't tell you. So here are the details. 16 city, 23 highway, 18 combined, and 5.6 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. That's no guarantee depending on how heavy your right foot is. The gas tank size comes in at 15.6 gallons. On a full tank of gas, you should be able to drive around 250 miles in the city and around 360 miles out on the highway. Those numbers will obviously vary because of a lot of different things, especially depending on how you drive. Now, there's a few different ways to gain access to your cargo space back here. There's a button on the remote, button on the interior. There's also a button right there. We can push that button and have that open. It is a power trunk. You can see that the owner does some tracking with his vehicle. He's actually a Porsche driving instructor. 15.5 cubic feet worth of cargo space is what we have. If you want to maximize that, you just come right here and pull on this release. I'm just going to do one side to show you that because it's a little bit tricky to get back here, but we're going to show you real quick. You can pull this area down right here, obviously on both sides, and give you a little bit more space than what you already have. Now, one thing that is missing here, just so you know, is that there is no spare tire. The sticker price on this particular model, $119,128. Now, there is a back seat. I'm not going to get back there. It's very small. My head would probably be touching the roof, 5'10". I'm good right here in the driver's seat, but that's the situation. If you need to put some adults back there, if they're under 5'10", they might fit okay. Might have to move the seats a little bit up here. Now, there is going to be carbon with the seats, carbon fiber. You can see that on the back right here. These are form-fitting seats. They definitely are race-focused seats, very comfortable as far as just sitting in them, even though they hug your body really well. So I think it actually has that nice combination of the race look and feel and action while still retaining a little bit of comfort at the same time. As far as our upper console, there's not a whole lot to talk about right here. You have your lighting right there. If you want to use that, you can turn that on. It's actually a lot brighter than it looks if you see it after dark. Not too much going on. No sunglass holder, nothing like that. Now, you will see, again, tons more carbon fiber throughout the interior, right here in this area on the center console. We're going to have our glove box right here just to show you a little bit more in there than we normally see because this belongs to somebody. And then over there on the passenger side, a nice large armrest. That's the advantage of a coupe. The armrests are huge. And the door bin is also nice and big. It's going to have a big bottle holder there in the front that you can take advantage of if you need to. And we're going to grab the camera and come over here to the driver's side and take a look at what we have. Lock and unlock. Gonna have some nice silver accent trim here, not only around the door handle area, but around our air conditioning vents. You're gonna have everything for controlling your side view mirrors right here. If you need to change anything there, you can fold those by pushing that button right there. There's that folding functionality I told you about. And you have your seat memory right here. And then way down there is the control for the power trunk. If you want to open or close that, you can do that from right there. You can manage your exterior lighting right here. And then we have, believe it or not, at this price point, I am a little surprised that you have a manually adjustable steering wheel. Tilt and telescopically adjustable, at least it's adjustable. We're going to have that red stripe here on the center. And Alcantara is going to be what surrounds this steering wheel, what it's wrapped with. That way, if you track the car, when you track something like this, you can't have the air conditioning on out on the track. So it's going to get hot during the summer especially, and you're going to sweat. You don't want leather because your hands will be slipping all over the place. With the Alcantara, that's not a problem. Our typical steering wheel mounted controls are going to be here, but you have the buttons right here, depending on what you want mode-wise. See if you can hear it. Can you hear the difference? And you will also see everything come up there on the screen that you can go in and change depending on what you want to do. Nice look with the driver's display. It looks modern, it looks racy, it looks high performance. And I like the head-up display as well. A lot of good information there. Again, it's going to have that race-centered look and design to it. Don't know how well you can see it, but it is there. Now, just a few little things to touch on here with the center screen. The one thing I do wish was here that is not is you don't have physical controls for your air conditioning, but it is here. If you need to do that, you can use BMW, the voice-activated assistant, to help out with that if needed. But when you're sitting still, you can adjust things as you need to. We can also come in here and turn on the heated steering wheel if needed. I don't need that today, so I'm going to leave that off. We also have 3 stages of heated seats for the driver and the passenger up here in the front seat area. And we'll also, when you go into reverse, as you can imagine, going to have your camera. We'll show you the different camera views here. So you're going to have that overhead view. You know you have a forward-facing camera because I showed you that earlier in the video. Got a couple of different things we can do here depending on where we want to see. Just so I can show you our different views here. Here's what you're going to do to get to that. We're going to go up here and take a look at that front view, at least from that particular vantage point. If you need to see from the sides, you can do that too. So some nice options where that is concerned as far as the different cameras go and the different views that are available. And we'll come back out of that. Just running through a couple of little things here. There's a lot here, but we're not going to spend a lot of time on the screen itself. But depending on what you need to find details, if you need to know the tire pressure of your tires, you can do that. You can see what all is here. Obviously, very performance focused. Traffic conditions, that's good to know. I'd like to have that in my vehicles, but that is the situation as far as what we have. Now, when I hit setup down here on the center console, here is what comes up. So we can actually adjust things to our liking. If you want certain aspects to be in comfort and certain aspects to be in sport, no problem. You can do that. So a lot of versatility and options here as far as that goes. We can also hit our button or our option on the screen right there. Now, as we work our way down, you're going to find things such as the control for your radio. You can turn that on and off right there and adjust the volume, adjust your stations. There is your hazard light button. You can see what else is here as far as our front and rear window defoggers. More carbon fiber. Everywhere you see carbon fiber here, it is real. Here we're going to find the wireless charging pad, USB port right there. And then we're also going to have our cup holders. We're going to hide that away just because it has a nice clean look. Here is your shifter. Now, depending on what you want to do with that shifter, you can come back here and go into drive if you want to. We can go over here like that. That's into drive. You can bump that over one more time and actually manually work your way back and forth through the gears, or you can use the shifter paddles up here on the steering wheel for that as well. To go back into park, we just push the button right there. Now you have several one-touch buttons right here as far as your traction control, different functions such as that. You can turn the auto stop start feature on and off right there. There's where you start the engine and shut it back down. You've got M mode set up. All of that's going to be here. Now, if you don't want to actually physically touch the touch screen, you have all the controls right here for that. Power parking brake is located here, and then the center console lid works as an armrest. It's not a huge center console, but you know what? It gets the job done. That is the thing. But the main thing here is the driving experience. Let's get out on the road and see what that is like. Okay, here we go with the test drive. Now, here's one thing about it. It's not quiet in here when you're driving down the road. You're gonna get some road noise, gonna get some noise in the wind, all of that. But in a car like this, that's part of the overall experience that makes it a lot of fun to drive, because it feels and sounds more racy, more like a race car. So that's something that's very important in my estimation. Now, there are some changes you can make depending on how you want the ride quality. You can obviously make some changes where that is concerned and adjust whether you're having comfort with the suspension or not. It just depends on what it is you're interested in. Steering, all the different things that I showed you earlier in the video that you can adjust intentionally to your liking, just depending on what it is you do and don't want. The steering is phenomenally precise. How many people have ever used those words together? I don't know if that's actually acceptable when it comes to grammar, but in this day and age, most people aren't going to know anyway. So That's just one of those things I was raised with, and so I think about that. All right, now, here comes the part that I've been wanting to get into. One thing I'm not going to do in today's video is actually do a launch, because there is a lot involved in launching this car. But I can tell by what we did right there that if you did launch the car, the potential of that 0 to 60 being 2.8 seconds is definitely very realistic. That is pretty impressive. And something that I have to say here that I really like is the fact that while you have this 3-liter 6-cylinder engine under the hood, it actually has a great exhaust note. I know everybody has their preferences. For me, I like the sound of a V8 over the sound of a V6 or a 4-cylinder, but at the same time, I have to say I'm very impressed with how this sounds. Now, holding the corner here as we accelerate all the way through the corner, all the way out of the corner, wow, that is definitely going to give you some great handling out on the road courses, or if you get outside of the city limits and take advantage of a spirited drive. It's going to handle phenomenally without any trouble whatsoever. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that should be a surprise to anybody. But the thing is, while it is a phenomenal high-performance car, it's also practical for daily driving if you can handle getting in and out of it regularly. The way these seats are built makes it a little bit challenging to do that, but it's not that big of a deal once you get used to it. You do have some cargo space, so if you need to go to the grocery store, yeah, you can handle that and get quite a bit back there in the trunk area and even into the back seat if you need to. A very well-rounded vehicle. For the right person, yeah, it can be a great daily driver. For most people, it's just going to be something for the weekend, taking the cars and coffee, maybe going out to the road course, whatever it is you might want to do. The brake pedal and the gas pedal, very easy to manage. I like that. That's always a good thing. Easy to adjust to, but the brakes obviously work the way they need to. So as we finish the test drive, I'm going to leave you with one more little exhaust note here as we hit the pedal. And there it is, the 2026 BMW M4 Competition. Does it check off all the right boxes? Tell me what you think down in the comments section. I'm always curious to receive your feedback. I would like to say a special thanks to my friend who loaned us his personal M4 for the day so we could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.